Everyone excited about the TAG event? Excellent. So am I. So great job to Todd and the team. They've done amazing, I would say, putting this event together, and we had a couple of minor events over the course of the last 6 to 8 months, and just exciting to see Atlanta really come about in this technology space. My name's Dina Dale. I'm Global Vice President out of Atlanta. So I kind of grew up in my career in Atlanta, seeing it change quite a bit. And one of the exciting things that I've noticed, started back in '94 doing SAP consulting, then moved to a customer for about 10 years, and recently joined SAP about 2 years ago, is how SAP's evolved in Atlanta, as well as technology. Where's technology going here? How are we seeing it change the environment? How are we seeing it change cities? And one of the things that we see a lot of customers and cities and countries and municipalities do is, how do we become smart? So Todd quoted a couple of numbers. In our IoT team, we call it the gazillion number, because it just keeps changing, right? Every couple of months, every couple of years, it seems like that number just continues to increase. And what we're trying to do is, how do we look at that and how do we become a smarter society? In Atlanta, I've seen sort of the drastic change. We've got a great year ahead of us. We've got the Falcon Stadium coming up. We've got the Braves Stadium coming up. We have a lot of traffic, so I'm excited to see what smart traffic we can do so it doesn't take me an hour and a half to get to the office. But you know, from a technology perspective, it's a great time to be in Atlanta. We've got great universities. We've got a great city. We've got all of you that really can help contribute to how SAP and Atlanta can be smart together. And I'm really excited about the opportunity. Bringing sexy back, Todd, thank you. I thought it was for me and I was going to be part of a Billboard Music Awards, but clearly not. You know, let's bring it back to Atlanta. I mean, we've just got so many great things happening here with, you know, like I said, all the infrastructure changes. We've got the Beltline that's opening up, green space, live, work, play, in some of the most, you know, well sought out neighborhoods in Atlanta, and being able to really capitalize on that. So again, we're excited to have you guys. I'm out of the Atlanta office, so I'm excited to be here. Looking forward to, you know, spending a lot more time with you guys over the course of the next couple of years. And I get the, get to inform you guys that our Nayaki is going to be our keynote today. She's amazing. She's a friend. She's a colleague. She started out her career back in the about 20 years ago. She was with Shell. She was the CTO at Valero. So got to really do a lot of transformational projects, digital transformations with Valero. Recently joined SAP back in 2011. Definitely more of a veteran than I am. And really just from a career perspective within the SAP space, she spent a lot of time with Cloud for Customer, and then recently our global head and general manager for IoT. So I'm excited for you guys to hear from Nayaki, and I'll hand it over to her. So thank you.
Under Armour has always been more than an apparel company. We've always been an innovation company. Using technology is a critical differentiator, changing the expectation that the consumer will have for what a sports brand should be for them. This is where we're going to need a big, bad technology partner. Bring in, cue the bell, SAP. Under Armour is a live business. We can anticipate the issues and needs that you're going to have using live data to really understand the needs of the athlete, to make better decisions that meet our consumer where they are. The right place with the right product at the right time. The days of the 18-month supply chain are something that we're quickly putting in our rearview mirror, with plans in place right now to cut that by as much as 20 to 30 to 40%. So what SAP really does for the Under Armour brand, it truly allows me to run our business end to end.
Good morning. How are you all doing today? Dina, thanks a bunch for a great introduction there. You know, every time I see that video, I will say this. I love Under Armour even more, but it's just amazing the pace of innovation that they've rolled out in the last few years. But before I jump into the details and share with you all examples of various such companies that have gone through digital transformation and have got in every industry, in every segment, to share with you examples of such customers. Before that, let me first thank TAG for giving us this opportunity to share with you all our vision, our strategy, but most importantly, hosting such a great event here in Atlanta this morning. Are you all excited to be here? Awesome. Awesome. Welcome. Can I go to the first slide? This is not working. So let's take a step back and look at what's happening around us. We hear this, that there'll be billions of devices that will be connected by 2020 and trillions of dollars of business that would be generated by 2020 and beyond. But the matter of fact is, independent of the number of devices that would be connected, what really matters is, it could be 50 gazillion or 100 gazillion devices. What really matters for customers is the outcome it generates. So let's take Under Armour as an example. You know, as a brand, it was barely even known 10, 15 years back. If you all remember, no one even knew who Under Armour was. Today, they're not only competing with all the majors, Nikes of the world, Reeboks of the world, but effectively transitioning their business model of selling not just the fitness products, but fitness as a service. Under Armour is monitoring the fitness levels of all their consumers, millions and millions of consumers around the world in real time, prompting them, nudging them to stay fit, exercise more and stay fit. This is what I call transitioning of the business model of not just selling fitness products, but selling fitness as a service. And if you take it into industrial world, you see the revolution or the transformation that all the major industrial companies like GEs of the world, Siemens of the world, ABBs, Bosch, everyone is going through. Jeff Immelt from GE even said that today they're a big, large manufacturing company, but tomorrow they are looking at evolving themselves to be a software and analytics company. And GE, that manufactures heavy equipment like generators, is looking to transition their business model of not just selling generators, but selling megawatts of power generated by those generators. This is what we call transitioning of the business model. And we have also seen how Uber and Airbnb, although they don't have any assets, but they actually sell transportation as a service or accommodation as a service. So what really matters in this IoT world is the outcome that customers are looking for, which is outcome as a service. So what we have done as SAP to help address the whole digital transformation that companies are going through, we have what we call the digital core. We launched this at Sapphire earlier this year. It is powered by 4 key pillars. The first one is, how do you engage with your customers? Gone are the days when customers call you when they have a problem. Today's customer, when they have an issue, they will tweet about it, they will go to Facebook and complain about the service. And they expect that the service provider is listening to them across all these channels. Doesn't matter which channel they're engaging with you, listening to these channels and respond back to them in that channel. So when they tweet, they expect you to tweet back. When they send you an email, they expect you to send an email. So being relevant in that channel that they're engaging you in. And how do you optimize the end-to-end supply chain? You heard Kevin Plank talk about how they optimized their whole supply chain, which was an 18-month supply chain, and cut it down by 30 to 40%. That is huge. How do you hire and retain talent so that you can scale and innovate in this global market? And what do you do with the data that you're collecting from these gazillion devices? As all these devices that you're collecting, imagine the amount of data that is coming at you. What do you do with all this data? So what we have done, because IoT is such a big, wide, and a deep topic, we have defined the entire space in this framework of what we call things to outcome. Because at the end of the day, we fundamentally believe that customers really care about the outcomes. It is those net new revenue streams, net new business models, net new customer experience. It's really those outcomes that they really care about. And to get to those outcomes, it's a journey of how they get there. It's how you connect the things to get the insights. And insights is what is enabling you to take actions. And based on those actions is what you are able to get to those outcomes. And in that same framework of things to outcome, we have clearly defined that we will focus on the outcome layer, which is where all of our IoT applications by industry, by segment, we have. And I will share with you details on each one of this. Connected manufacturing, connected logistics. There are 4 key industry verticals that we are razor focused on this year. Next year, you will see a lot more industries that will be releasing connected manufacturing of what I call shop floor to top floor. As you're able to connect all the shop floor, how do you bring it to the top floor for the head of operations or your COO to walk in and look at what the live business looks like? How do you track and trace your entire supply chain from the time the consumer wants a product to the time it is manufactured and shipped to that consumer? How do you track and trace the entire supply chain? How do you do energy management? That was one of the key requirements we hear from all the ENR industries. When I say ENR, energy and natural resources like oil and gas, chemicals, mining, and utility companies, of how they're optimizing the end-to-end energy consumption. How do you connect with your consumers and engage with your consumers across all these channels? And of course, new innovation areas in healthcare and financial industry, insurance. We see a huge uptake happening in insurance. I'll share with you examples of various companies there too. While we are focused on all these outcome-based IoT applications, we are partnering. Again, the list that you see here is not the complete list. This is just a representative list here. And we'll be announcing a lot more partnerships going forward. There are 3 key types of partners that we are engaging in. Of course, all the big manufacturers like GE, Siemens, Hitachi's, all the big manufacturers to help us give the connectivity in the shop floor. The big gateway vendors like Intel's of the world, Dell's of the world, Cisco's of the world, all of them who actually have gateways and giving us connectivity in the infrastructure, and the big telco vendors. Every telco that we have in each of the countries, we are partnering with the telcos like Vodafone, T-Systems. You will see a lot more partnerships. So these are partnerships that we have today. Stay tuned. You will see a lot more partnerships coming out in the near future. And all of this powered by our platform, our HANA platform, which not only supports all the various IoT applications we have, but also how we connect with the partners to complete the end-to-end solution. And one of the key questions I get is, Nayaki, what does IoT have, SAP have in the whole platform area? What are the key IoT services that we have? So as you can see on this chart, on the very far right, my right, your left, we have what we call IoT Intelligent Edge. And this is the software that can run on any gateways, Dell gateways, Cisco gateways, Hitachi, all the gateways that are out there. Today, I call them, these gateways are kind of dumb gateways. They're just moving the data around. But as we connect to all the billions and billions of things, how do you filter the noise out and only bring the relevant data into our cloud platform? This is what we call IoT Intelligent Edge. This can run on any gateway. We are partnering with all the major gateway vendors to put this at the edge. This brings the data into our core platform. Customers have a choice of running this on-prem or in cloud. And when I say on-prem and cloud, some customers want to run heavy predictive maintenance kind of solutions on-prem. But for large, like track and trace and various big applications in cloud. So they have a choice of running on-prem or cloud. And on our core platform, which is HANA Cloud Platform, we have what we call IoT Foundation Services. In IoT Foundation Services, we have many things like dynamic tiering. One of the key things we get is, it's such a large volume, big data coming in, and HANA is a little expensive. So to make sure that we can handle all the data coming in, we do dynamic tiering to be able to use big data lakes, other offline storages like Hadoop or other data lakes to store warm and cold storage, but the hot data stays in our core platform, in our HANA platform. And also end-to-end device management. This is a big feature that customers ask for, is how do I do end-to-end device management? So various services that we have in our core platform where customers can run on-prem or cloud, and then integrating this with the rest of the business suite, which is how you engage with your customers, how you engage with your supplier network through Ariba, how do you engage with your consumers and consumers ultimately. So when you look at the full stack, the intelligent edge helps you filter the noise out, only bring the relevant data into your core platform on-prem or cloud, and then being able to do dynamic tiering for managing all the big data and doing end-to-end device management, and then consolidating all of that with your rest of your back-end ERP applications. Some of the great examples across multiple industries. Here is Trenitalia. Trenitalia is one of the largest operator of trains in Italy. And they went through this journey almost a year back. And here's a great story from Trenitalia, and I have a video here that shares with you how they went through the journey, the benefits they got, and most importantly, where is the money in IoT? There's a big question, where's the money in IoT and the savings that they were able to get out of this journey. So here is.
Trenitalia is the leading Italian rail transport operator, wholly owned by the Gruppo Ferrovie dello Stato Italiane SPA. We carry about 2 million passengers every day, with volumes of up to 250 million train kilometers on an annual basis. We are organized into different business units, which cover long-distance passenger transport, commuter traffic, and freight services on both a national and international basis.
Our goal is to carry out conditional maintenance, rather than, as has previously been the case, according to a fixed schedule based on time or number of kilometers.
The new dynamic maintenance management system is a project developed in partnership with SAP, which exploits the full potential of the SAP HANA platform. One aspect that puts us ahead of the competition in the transportation market is the large amounts of data managed on an annual basis, which will exceed 700 terabytes.
The ETR 1000 is a technologically advanced train which is designed to reach a speed of up to 360 kilometers per hour. In a high-speed system, everything, the entire system, must run at the same speed. So it's vital that maintenance facilities can react rapidly to operational stresses as well.
For the railway sector, the most innovative aspect of the Internet of Things is the large number of sensors that are on board the trains. The sensors record many different parameters, like temperatures, pressures, and so on. The data is processed by SAP HANA, and the system then provides the rules to define the required maintenance actions.
To be able to anticipate events and maintenance operations will enable our company to reduce errors and make processes more efficient, and also deliver better services with continuously improving quality standards.
We expect a reduction of maintenance costs of 8 to 10%, which, for our company, is a very significant value, because every year we spend around 1.3 billion euro on maintenance. It will also improve the reliability of trains, and with that, we have less failures and a better availability. Therefore, we will have more trains available to provide more services. In that way, we can provide a better service to our customers.
SAP helps Trenitalia run simple.
You know, I want to point this. They said they have 700 terabytes of data that they're collecting. 700 terabytes. And they spend $1.3 billion on maintenance every year, and they're able to get 8 to 10% reduction in their maintenance costs. So now you can see where the money really is, right? In this whole journey, being able to connect to all the data coming from the trains, predictively maintain. The number one issue was how do they make sure the batteries that operate the doors that open and close, they have to be operating 24/7 and never break. That was the number one use case they had. And how they're monitoring that, collecting all that data, and being able to evolve from not just what we call scheduled maintenance, but predictive maintenance. Only send the technicians when there is an issue and save those huge costs. Here is another great example, Kaiser compressors. Kaiser is one of the largest manufacturers of compressors in Germany. And when we started this journey with Kaiser, their number one requirement was to be able to predictively maintain those compressors that they sell to their customers. And in that journey of maintaining those compressors that their customers have and predicting if there is any issue and being proactive in fixing those, they evolved their business model of not just selling compressors, but selling compressed air. So this is what I call companies evolving their business model of not just selling big, heavy equipment, but selling the outcome. In this case, Kaiser evolving from not just selling compressors, but selling compressed air. That is a huge transformation that they went through. Another great example, this is actually my favorite, Harley. You all know Harley, right? Every bike that Harley manufactures is customized. The bike they manufacture for me is going to be different than what they would do for each one of you. There are 5,000 different ways of how they can configure those bikes. And the number one requirement or the use case that Harley had when they started this journey is the lead time from the time the customer actually placed an order for that bike to getting that order executed on that shop floor in real time. It used to take them 21 days. 21 days. And in this journey of making sure how they can get feedback all the way, taking the order from the customer, to be able to execute that order on the shop floor, they reduced that from 21 days to 6 hours. Look at the amount of reduction they were able to make in that entire, what I call the supply chain. Here is another great example. We have what we call connected vehicle. We announced this at Mobile World Congress earlier this year, where we announced a partnership with SEAT and Samsung. And I have this notion of what I call ambient intelligence. Ambient intelligence is with IoT and machine learning and AI, all these technologies coming together. When you walk into your house, you want your house to detect what you like, the temperatures, the shades, the coffee flavor you like for that given day, and the music, right? So you want the house to adapt, to be cognizant of what you like and adapt to your likes and dislikes. Similarly, when you go into your car, you want your car to adapt to your likes and dislikes and make all the adjustments. So here is a great example that when we announced this with SEAT and Samsung, where I can transfer my key, my digital key, to anyone, my friends or family. And when they go into the car recognizes who you are and adapts to all your likes and dislikes. And right from there, if you are driving somewhere and you need a parking space, you can make a reservation for the parking space and pay through Samsung Pay. I have a great video. I'm not running the video in this presentation, but if anyone, if you're interested, we can share that video with you. It's a beautiful end-to-end scenario of what I call ambient intelligence the moment you get in the car. Independent of whether you own the car or not, as long as you have the digital key, it adapts to your likes and dislikes. Connected energy, especially large oil and gas customers. I come from the oil background. I have been in the oil industry for almost 15 years before I joined SAP. They have this, what I call OT and the IT, operations technology layer and the information technology layer. How many of you are familiar with the OT and the IT concept? You know what I'm talking about, right? You have this whole world of OT where all the systems that are running in the OT world have been cordoned off. There's no way you can get into that OT layer without going through the plant manager or head of operations in the plant. And the convergence, IoT is really enabling the convergence of OT and IT as the data comes out of the OT layer, how you converge that with your IT systems and really derive actions and outcomes. Here's actually a great example of a company called EDF Energy. EDF was one of the largest operator of big wind farms in North America. And they went through this journey of converging OT and the IT layer. and being able to predictively monitor those big, large wind farms and the windmills and have huge reduction in their maintenance cost. I have another example here, Alliander. Alliander is the largest operator of energy network in Netherlands. And Alliander, number one use case is to make sure that network that operates to provide energy to B2B businesses and B2C businesses, both from big, heavy businesses to also consumers. In that journey of making sure that the network is maintained and has the highest asset health, they're able to monitor the energy consumption of their customers, their B2B customers and B2C customers, and proactively prompt them where the wastage is or where they could optimize their energy consumption within their homes or within their businesses. Great example and the journey that they went through. Connected consumer. This is near and dear to me. Before I joined on the IoT area in SAP, I was heading up the development for customer engagement. And in today's day and age, your customers expect that you know who you are and what your likes and dislikes are. And we have this use case where we have what we call smart vending machines. When you walk up to that vending machine, the vending machine detects who you are, what you have bought in the past, and it on the display shares with you what your likes and dislikes are, what additional products are there in the vending machine, and also if there is a coupon that you can scan to get a discount while you're purchasing that coffee or your favorite snack from the vending machine. Here we see large, big consumer product companies like Coca-Cola's of the world. You all know Coca-Cola from Atlanta. Big consumer like Nestle's of the world, Colgate's, everyone, all the big, large consumer product companies, we see this being a big trend where they're able to deploy this big vending machines which are smart, so they detect you likes and dislikes and predicts your behavior and being able to prompt you when they have best offer for you. Also, connected farming. In this is a new innovation area. We don't have a product today, but you will see some come out in 2017 and beyond for us, where for large farm landowners, when I say large farm landowners, which have acres and acres of large farm, the number one issue they have is being able to detect if there are any patches in the land which needs any kind of special attention when there's a moisture issue or temperature issue or any kind of fertilizer issue. It's able to detect precisely where the issue is and being able to take care of it right there and then versus waiting for it or delaying too much in taking care of it. So we see this for large farm landowners of how they're evolving and using IoT to be able to detect any kind of issues they have in their farmlands. And last but not the least, healthcare. This is very personal, right? At the end of the day, how you're able to monitor your vitals and being able to proactively take action on it. We see a lot of companies evolving into this whole healthcare area. We worked with Roche in Germany to be able to proactively monitor all the patients, the diabetes patients, and recommend the necessary actions or proactive actions that needs to be taken. Here's a great example of how we innovated in the whole healthcare industry.
Diabetes is actually a very common disease. It's known as a first world disease, and that means it's also a lifestyle disease.
Today, we have between 6 and 8 million diagnosed diabetes patients in Germany. The vast majority are type 2 diabetes patients, which is mostly triggered by an unhealthy lifestyle.
Anyone can get type 2 diabetes by not taking care of themselves, by letting themselves go, or by failing to get honest feedback about their lifestyle habits.
And this is, of course, a huge cost factor. especially when you consider the very severe complications associated with diabetes. It is thought the majority of heart attacks and strokes are related to diabetes. This means we can't wait to act only when a patient has already been diagnosed with diabetes. We also have to take preventive action. That is why we decided we needed a package for patients and physicians to provide a better prevention program. The program is called AccuCheck View and includes not only a blood sugar meter, but also a fitness tracker, which is a wristband that tracks steps and daily exercise. What makes the package unique is an app developed by SAP, specifically targeted to meet the individual requirements of patients as well as doctors.
You don't have to visit the doctor all the time, but can check glucose levels at home. They are transmitted via an app to the doctor's system, and the doctor's office can contact you and discuss appropriate measures.
It's crucial to have a solution that is able to gather all the mobile data, and here SAP has the right product with SAP Connected Health, which meets these requirements perfectly. The solution is based on the HANA Cloud Platform, and with that platform, SAP can store and process all the data from the mobile devices.
This app gives the patient immediate feedback, but also gives me immediate feedback, so we can work together more closely.
Small sins are made visible right away, so I can react much faster and adjust my behavior, which is a great benefit.
The doctor's work will change completely. Now, the doctor no longer depends solely on what a patient tells him, but he can monitor the actual data closely and can therefore make much better therapy decisions. This will not only affect diabetes therapy, but all chronic diseases. Increasingly, we will see that technology, apps, and software will all help to strengthen the relationship between patient and doctor so that therapy can be provided in a much more individualized fashion.
I see a huge uptake of this, especially in developing countries like India and other countries where there's huge network of doctors and patients coming online to be able to provide remote healthcare. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I gave you examples of customers in different industries: manufacturing, logistics, consumer products, healthcare, farming, in different industries. And you can see how IoT is completely transforming their business model. It's not just about connecting the things, it's really the outcome it generates and how it's enabling companies across every industry in transitioning their business model of not just selling equipment or products, but selling what I call the outcome-based service. With that, thanks a bunch. Thanks for taking the time, and look forward to having more conversation with you after this session. Thank you all.